Welcome back, parents. I hope you have been hanging in there with hope and patience. I trust you have successfully sailed through this week by adopting good time management, healthy routines, self care time, and attitude of gratitude. As I said in the previous week talk, that it's very important for parents to take care of themselves first before they can hope to establish connect and compliance with their children. In these unusual times, it is usual to go through a variety of emotions, which can be troubling to your being. Please note that no emotion is good or bad, but the excess or imbalance of any emotion can be the cause of trouble. Recently, while participating in the professional workshop by NIMHANS Institute for Mental Health, it was emphasized that stress and anxiety are the most commonly reported concerns, under the influence of which people are struggling with variety of behaviors which are having negative impact on their various aspects of their life. The terms stress and anxiety are often used interchangeably. Let's understand in brief how they differ. Stress is best understood as manifesting in the body. It's the racing heart, sweating palms, funny tummy, etc. We are all familiar with. And anxiety is commonly described as something manifested physically and mentally. So it has having both mental and physical symptoms. Anxiety is best described as the unhelpful thinking patterns we experience when our mind fixates on threat, uncertainty, and negativity. Unhelpful thinking patterns can be understood by the term overthinking. Understanding overthinking can be helpful in finding solutions and relief from anxiety issues, which can be big hindrance to parents to effectively connect with their children. So let's understand what is overthinking. Overthinking is always either in the past or future, never in present. During overthinking, most thoughts are negative or about negative situations that you feel you are not equipped to handle, even though you are. Learning how to reduce anxiety, how to first recognize and then reduce anxiety can be an extremely helpful life skill. I want to emphasize that parents' positive state of mind is the prerequisite in taking good care of children. Let me share with you some of the tools to help you manage anxiety. 1. Your information diet. What information sources you are feeding your mind and how often? So take care of your information diet. How? By redirecting your attention to the facts and precautions to be followed. Balance out your information diet by utilizing only trusted, uplifting news sources and good news newsletters as well. Okay. Second tool is your spheres of influence. So what does that mean? That if you're prone to hypothetical worry, like for example, what if situations, right? If you tend to worry about what if situations, that means some situation that can occur in future that is not there in present. Like what if I get sick? What if my family member gets sick? What if I lose my job? What if there's some problem in my job? Okay. So if you're prone to hypothetical worries such as this, what if type of thoughts, you may find it helpful to practice noticing these thoughts and then redirect your attention to things within your control. How you can practice that? That you draw a circle, okay? And inside the circle, you write the thoughts which are bothering you or worries that are bothering you, which you have control over, which you can control, okay, which you can act upon and do something about it, okay, effectively, constructively. And outside the circle, you write the things that you don't have any control over, right? That it's somebody else who needs to work over that, or you cannot do much about it, okay? So once you write the thoughts inside the circle, so you start focusing on the thoughts which are inside the circle, right? So you can at least, accomplish something and that will give you a feeling of, motivation. All right, so be careful of that. Okay. Third tool is stay aware to come back in present. Okay, as I have been talking about that generally our thoughts are in the past, our worrisome thoughts are in the past or in the future, right? That tends to make us anxious. Okay, so you stay aware to come back in present. Bring yourself to present by interrupting the thought pattern. All right, so if you have thoughts that are making you anxious, right, so please observe those thoughts and do something about them by interrupting those thought patterns for that time. Okay, how you can interrupt the thought patterns? By using two types of breathing. Okay, first is forced breathing. How we do that? Inhale and then exhale forcefully. Inhale, exhale forcefully. So we do it 5 times. After this, we do the box breathing or square breathing. Okay, it is a very good known, good grounding technique. Okay, so how do we do that? On the back of your palm or thigh. Okay, you inhale when you draw the 4 lines of the square, and you exhale when you once again draw the 4 lines of the square. Okay, so inhale when you draw the 4 lines of the square, exhale when you once again draw the 4 lines of the square. Okay, so this is how you practice these 2 breathing techniques. Those who know and practice any meditation technique, please stick with it and stay regular in it. But if not, the above 2 breathing techniques can help you to focus on your breath and not thoughts, and hence will create disruption in negative thought patterns. Why we want to disrupt our thoughts? Because anxious thoughts and feelings are fooling you, as we talked about, as they are not in present. They are in past or future. Okay, tip number 4. Many times, you must be getting suggestion whenever somebody is worried, right? Ignore it. Ignore it, right? So please note that ignoring anxious thoughts may not work, right? As they will come louder to you. Okay, you can defer the thoughts to a designated and appropriate time for you, right? But do address your thoughts. Okay, you can always select some time of the day where you want to think about your occurring thoughts, right? And you can tell your thoughts, okay, I will think about these thoughts during that time, right? But do not ignore. Do not try to ignore. You can understand this by the example of a child who's asking you for an ice cream. Okay, and you are trying to ignore. So what is going to happen? The child is going to come louder, yeah, and louder and louder until his need will be addressed. So what we do during these times, that if the child is asking, it's just ice cream is just an example, it can be any other need. Okay, so if the child is expressing any need and we think, okay, if we ignore it, child will forget it and leave us alone, right? No, it generally does not happen. They come out louder in different forms, all right? So if we tell the child, assure the child that you will address the need of the child during that time, the child feel reassured and then, go silently from there. Right? But the child has to have the trust in you that during that designated time, you are gonna address the needs and cater to it, okay? To develop that trust between you and your child. All right. 5th tip. The another important thing is to stay away from feedback loop, where we reinforce within ourselves, right? There are certain thoughts we reinforce. If we had certain unpleasant experience, right, we reinforce that and we give a feedback to our mind, right, to create that thought for us again and again. All right, for example, right, let's say last night you did not sleep well, right, due to certain reason, due to overcrowded thoughts or caffeine at night. There can be different thoughts with different people, right? So now this night, when everything is going all right, you are feeding your mind with the thought, oh, I'm not gonna feel asleep today, I'm not gonna or I'm gonna feel in a certain way, right? Or in terms of children, right, if your child has acted or reacted in a certain way in the past, for some request or situation, right? And now the similar situation come again in life, So you're going to say, my child is going to act or react in a certain way. So, right, please stay away, stay in the present, deal the situations as fresh every time, right? So don't allow yourself to enter into the feedback loop. Be cautious not to get trapped in such self-created feedback loop, which will hamper your efforts in new direction. Only entertain those thoughts on which you can take any actionable step. All right? So let's end today with a quick recap. Parents first, right? Then we talked about some tools to manage anxiety, right? Your information diet, spheres of influence, what you can control and what you cannot control. Stay aware to be in present. Disrupt negative thought patterns by breathing techniques. Forced and square breathings were talked about. Ignoring needs does not work. Be cautious not to get trapped in feedback loop. I hope these tips and techniques will help to stabilize yourself in these times and help establish better connect with your children. With improved bonding, better compliance by children, happy moods, and productive family environment can be achieved. Next week, I will speak about how to stay motivated and help children stay motivated. Till then, bye-bye and take care.